I mean, Newt Gingrich, NAFTA, GATT, part of groups calling for world government. I've read the quotes. Wrote books, wrote forwards to books. The end of the family, total world government, the end of the United States, total tyranny, arrest citizens, on and on and on. Now they're on the verge of passing the bill. Rand Paul is fighting it. And I should have been screaming bloody murder all day about this. Instead, I'm just, well, yeah, they're trying to have indefinite detention, secret arrest, secret torture, secret execution, because this ties into the Enemy Combatant Act and all that, the military commission stuff. And then I've been to the drills. I see it in the news with the military now running real checkpoints. Totally illegal. And look, the mega banks that have captured America, if you take away one thing from this broadcast, it's this. If you study history, corrupt elites always use the military to take over the country and rob the general public. That's the nature of it. It's a weapon the corrupt always want. It's like, to use the Lord of the Rings analogy, it's the ring of Mordor. And there's always somebody that wants to get it and put it on. And government can provide that tyranny, that appetite of total domination. And the giant criminal group that brings the corrupt oligarchy to power, they always want more and more and more. And they don't like competition operating. It's about total avarice-filled domination. And they have been preparing and pushing forever to bring the military onto the streets of America and to get rid of the Bill of Rights and Constitution. And now they're almost done. And they're going to stage terror attacks, new Oklahoma cities, and blame it on this radio show, on Ron Paul, and on our movement for liberty. They've done it before. They're gearing up. You've seen the memos telling Obama how great it would be with his advisors, how only a new Oklahoma City to blame his detractors will save him. But it won't be to save Obama. It'll be to save this agenda. They don't fight fair. And even if there was a real terror attack, which it is always staged when it's this type of event, or provocateur, how does taking your rights fix everything? Why, if it's statistically one of the least dangerous things out there, being killed by terrorists, why have you been taught to get all upset and freak out and have a fetish over the fear? And how did Land of the Free, Home of the Brave become a bunch of people in fetal positions, literally getting off on the fear? One time I was flying with somebody who used to work here years ago, and they would open the window of the plane and get all scared and go, and I would say, literally, I would say, stop it and close the window. And then he turned and he said, I think I kind of like it, getting scared. And that's what it is. Needless to say, I didn't fly with that person again. But I mean, I'm talking about digging into the seat going, and I'm like, you didn't tell me this. And then everything's okay, you're at 30,000 feet. Looking out the window, actually making that noise. And I looked in their eyes, I said, you're getting off on this. I guess I am. Oh, my gosh. I go out in public, and especially the trendies, they look so soft, so stupid, so childlike, so into themselves, unaware, blissfully unaware. I mean, the New World Order looks at those people and just says, we're taking them down. Increase the dose in the water. Prepare to launch military strikes on our enemies. Soon the globe will be ours. I mean, I was reading the quotes of Newt Gingrich about, I have an inexorable political power appetite. I wish to dominate and overthrow the world system and bring in the new one of total empowerment and the new awakening of the great power and the consciousness. I mean, total Albert Pike, Illuminati, Lucifer stuff. I mean, that's who we're dealing with. Just like, yeah, power is ours, rape everything. But if they're up there in their suit going, I'm your friend, Newt Gingrich will point his finger whenever somebody doesn't give up their rights, and he'll say, do you want to lose a U.S. city? And he says it like he's poking you with fear. And then everybody rises, oh, no, we're so scared. And he smiles, little goblin. They're so easy to manipulate. I mean, he's weak. He's pathetic when you see what he is. And I got to watch these little They're like fat little goblins that spiritually drag their belly and have like pus squirting out of them and blood dripping out their noses and bloodshot eyes, and they're horrible, stinking spiritual flatulence, and their bellies leave like a snail trail of pus behind them. And like good people are like towering, steel giants of will and intellect, but are so naive and spiritually have that blind spot that we're ruled by little tiny goblins with little short arms and legs that can hardly move and just kind of vomit stinking scrofulous. They like vomit rotten children's parts out, bleh, and wars and black smoke, and they're dragging themselves along, and again, horrible flatulence. Just picture these creatures, and this is who we have to bow down to. I mean, with childlike. Newt Gingrich, do you want to lose a U.S. city? And everybody gets into being scared. They go, oh. And everybody's like, he's devastatingly accurate. I love being afraid. And the Republicans all just go, fear, save me, daddy. I mean, I'm telling you. I mean, you told old-time Americans, you better do this or they'll get you. No one would listen to you. Now everybody just literally, he's like, are you ready for this? Is everybody ready to like, have to put new diapers on, because Al-Qaeda will get you, and all you hear is a giant, I'm sorry to talk like this, a giant flatulence sound, and they fill their diapers. And that should be the American flag, is a big fat person in a diaper crying in fear, bowing down to a little goblin, a ugly, diseased goblin with pus and warts, eating a rotten baby. Okay, up here, and then down there is the public in a diaper praying to it. I mean, that's America. A demonic goblin eating a rotten baby, defecating on the American people who are in a diaper praying to him. All right, I said I'd get to your calls. We got to. I'm sorry. I mean, this is what we're dealing with. I had a caller who was on earlier. I said I'd get back to. I'll at least get to him right now if I can find the call system. Steve in Florida, you wanted to, or was it Steve or who was it? You wanted to make a point about medical tyranny? Go ahead.
Yeah, and I invite any of your listeners to just type in Rockefeller Foundation medical schools, and you'll see right about the time Federal Reserve started, all the mega $1 million in grants that they gave to the ailing medical schools, but that was only under one condition, is that they would have to follow what they say. And that was really a transfer of their petrochemical business, the Rockefeller family, into the pharmaceutical one. And the whole motto was disease maintenance and disease expansion. And when you look at it, I think it's demonically brilliant, because they've made everybody sick.
Well, they want to make normal life not regenerative, like Terminator seeds is the archetype, where the seed doesn't produce another seed. You've got to go back to them. Again, they're little demonic, spiritual, pus-filled creatures that can hardly move, so they want to make all of us like them. You understand? They see us for what we really are, powerful, beautiful creators in God's image. So they're like, all right, jack them full of a bunch of stuff, so they've got to buy everything from us to even be able to survive. Great point, sir. Really appreciate you bringing that up. Yeah, they're getting ready with all the attempts for forced inoculation. More calls coming up. Stay with us.
When the food collapse happens.
Deep down in Louisiana, close to New Orleans.
All right, I got to go to your calls. We got Dr. Corsi coming up with a bunch of breaking news on Iran. Aaron in Wisconsin, thanks for holding. And we're going to get to Ryan and others. Go ahead, Aaron. Welcome.
Hey, what's up, Alex?
Hey, brother.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, we're just talking about our little goblin leaders.
Yeah, I know. And I was going to say, I love your description.
Well, unfortunately, that's about what it is. About a 6-inch goblin who can hardly walk that we all bow down to. And we're about 10,000 feet tall and can move mountains, but we don't. We just grovel and bow down to the goblin because he's got us under a spell.
Yeah. But I guess I'll just talk to listeners out there. I actually want to share a dream. I think that people could actually make greenhouses on flat trailers just to have wheels on them. You just put a little greenhouse, and it could really keep us kind of mobile and have them in our backyards and stuff.
And what would you grow in that greenhouse?
Well, eventually, when I'm pausing like that, there's way more profitable things to do. That.
Well, you sound like you're in a really good mood today. Did you just have a big bong hit?
I think that's, yeah, understood. But that's besides the point. That I think that we should be growing our own vegetables. Everyone should be, let's say if you're going to go and have a burger with ketchup and mustard, get the organic ketchup, get the good beef, and do the best you can. And
by the way, that's an example of how we can demand things go in the right direction, voting with our dollars. Hunt's Ketchup now says organic and non high fructose corn syrup sugar. Just demanding it, and I guarantee you Heinz will be next. And it's little things like that. Very interesting. Anything else, Aaron? Because I want to let you get back to that bong.
Yeah, thank you. Just stay healthy. That's what the best advice, because we know so much. And I think, I was thinking this while I was on hold, that every patriot, the first year is going to be 100 people, the second year is going to be 1,000 people, then 10,000. That's why Alex Jones has like 10 million people listening to him right now. And
well, I've probably got 3 million overall the whole show every day, but it's around 15 million a week total, every different platform. And a large portion of those are one-timers that come through only once or twice and hear the information. So we're reaching a lot of new people. That's super important as well. God bless you. I appreciate the call, Aaron. Watch out for the ganja. Okay, let's go ahead now and talk to Ryan in Canada. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, Alex. Yeah, I've been trying to get a hold of you for a while. I just wanted to address this whole Occupy movement and how it's associated with the United Nations, and more specifically, how it's using a guide from the Tavistock Institute filtered through the Consensus Building Institute. And basically, it says in this guide that they have the authors or the Commission for Group Dynamics and Assemblies, but I can't find out who these people are.
Yeah, and they persecute them to make people feel sorry for them at one level of the dialectic while setting the precedent to attack people. Again, they announce for people to come out against corrupt elements of Wall Street. Good people show up. Then they come in and say there is no leader to make sure no patriots get in there. Then they slowly take them over to where now they're calling for open borders, world government, gun control, communism, socialism. George Soros is our supreme ruler. All of this garbage to control the opposition. And yes, it's all Delphi, UN, brainwashing technique. And I'm not saying the Occupy itself is bad, but that's the layer over it trying to control us. And then people are like, you're criticizing Occupy. It's not one monolith. It's like the Tea Party. Ron Paul starts it. Republicans try to take it over. So you're talking about two Tea Parties, the Patriot Tea Party and the Rhino, Newt Gingrich type Tea Party. You see, it's the same thing with this. The establishment is trying to control opposition.
Well, that sounds exactly what I've uncovered with my research. I mean, it doesn't matter what aspect that you go digging into in this. The deeper that you dig, the more you keep on finding out that there's UN involvement and that these people basically want to get down on their knees and invite this new world order system in. That's what it's all about.
No. They're the children of spoiled yuppies, of the spoiled baby boomers, and they literally think the new world order is going to roll over like a fat sow and offer a milky up to them, and they're going to come over and just suckle like fat little piglets all day long. The new world order says they openly want to cyanide their butt. So here's the, they drop down the big milk device, the mammary gland, and the little trendies run up and go, and then fall over dead, basically.
Well, I just find it a little convenient that they have these tent cities all set up, and it's, right about the same time when the EU is about, basically